Found it rather disappointing that our government, that has benefited so much from our cooperation with Brazil, particularly under Lula, that they have said nothing in giving solidarity to what has happened.
Just over a week ago, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, the former Brazilian president known mostly as Lula, began serving a 12-year prison sentence after being found guilty of corruption and money laundering. However, neither the Guyana government nor the opposition PPP has spoken publicly about the recent development in Brazil, and maybe for good reasons. One of which is that the situation in Brazil is perceived by some to be politically motivated. And secondly, there are also accusations of corruption leveled by both the PPP and the coalition government against each other. So it is believed that any comment on the corruption in the Brazilian situation might be a premise for more such criticisms locally. However, former President Donald RAMOTAR thinks that Guyana needs to take a position on the matter.
I think Lula was one of our continent's most prominent and patriotic sons.
RAMOTAR thinks that Lula was desirous of bringing Latin America and the Caribbean together, and that he, Lula, had put things in place to actualize his desires.
He was moving to integrate Latin America and the Caribbean very much, so that he did a lot in that direction too.
RAMOTAR thinks also that Lula was good to Guyana.
For Guyana too, that he did a lot. I mean, the bridge across the Takatu River there and so forth.
The Guyana's former president thinks that what is happening to Luiz da Silva there in Brazil is mostly politically driven.
It was very clear that if Lula had contested the elections, he would win the elections. And Lula's position was probably too patriotic for many people inside and outside of Brazil.
RAMOTAR said that Lula's stance that Brazil's Petrobras oil company should play a major role in Brazil's petroleum development might have aggravated some larger foreign oil companies.
Lula's position on oil was that Petrobras has to be involved in a big way, in a leading way, in the development of the oil sector. I suspect that some of those type of interests do not like the type of position that Lula took.
The former PPP leader thinks that both the government and the opposition should speak out in support of the former Brazilian president. I ask Mr. RAMOTAR why the opposition has not publicly made their position known. The PPP's most recent past leader said that he does not now speak for the party.
You got to ask the party. I don't speak on behalf of the party anymore. I have not been General Secretary since 2013. So you probably need to direct your question at the General Secretary or whoever is mandated to speak in that. But I personally know of Lula's and Brazil's contribution under Lula's leadership and the cooperation that we've had with Brazil. And I am not convinced, well, put it this way, let me put it more positively. I'm convinced that the act of jailing Lula is more than just corruption, that it has to do more with politics. That is why I felt obliged to come out and support and give solidarity to Lula.
Wendell Jeffrey for Channel 2 Headline News.
Thanks for watching Headline News. Leave a like or a comment below. And for updates on the latest news happening in Guyana, click the subscribe button.